Hello, my name's Melena, and this is a presentation um, from the health promotion team at Humber. And this presentation is about the importance of washing hands. Okay, so hand washing. These are some definitions that are important when it comes to washing hands. So the term hand washing refers to the physical removal of microorganisms from your hands with the use of soap and water. Hand hygiene is just like a general term that refers to the action of hand washing, and hand hygiene relates to the removal of actual physical soil and removal of killing of transient microorganisms from the hands. And hand care is basically the actions and products that are used to reduce the risk of skin irritation, such as hand lotions, creams, to make sure your hands are moisturized and not as dry, because washing hands, especially now, and if you're doing it a lot, your hands tend to get sometimes dry or irritated, so hand care is also an important step of the hand washing routine. And this is just a little poster basically saying proper hand washing is one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of COVID-19, as we all know. And so why is washing your hands important? So we know that is effective, but why is it important? So washing your hands are important part of of any hygiene routine, as keeping your hands clean is one of the most important steps. It is known that many diseases and conditions are spread through not washing hands with soap or clean running water. Washing your hands with soap and running water will help prevent yourself and others from obtaining any sicknesses or diseases, as well as the reduction of the amount of germs being spread. Another little poster here about like the main benefits of washing your hands. So it creates a safer working environment. It prevents any diarrhea and uncomfortable intestinal diseases, avoidance of common eye infections, obstruction of respiratory tract infections, reduction of bacteria content on your hands, and reduces infection in also young children, as frequent illness caused by germs is bacteria. So how do germs spread? Because germs do spread pretty quickly. Germs can get from germs from unwashed hands can get into foods and drinks while people prepare or eat them. These germs can even multiply in certain foods and can make people sick. Due to the fact that people are always touching something, whether it is their eyes, nose, mouth, germs can easily enter the body through touching any parts of those on your face. So it's very easy for the bacteria to enter your system through basically any parts of your face. Germs can also get onto your hands if people touch any objects that has germs on it because someone coughed or sneezed on it, or it was touched by some other contaminated object. So the most important thing is to make sure when touching objects you clean them, because germs can be very transferable, and probably the most commonly thing that we're always touching is our phones. So almost everybody in society has their phones wherever they go, as well as we're always touching things in our household. We're always having habits of touching things. So it's important to always make sure you're cleaning surfaces, you're cleaning your phones, you're cleaning the things that you use on a regular basis, because germs do spread pretty quickly. So here are some facts about washing hands. According to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hand washing can prevent about 30% of diarrhea-related sicknesses and about 20% of respiratory infections, such as colds. There is an estimated global rate of hand washing after using the toilet, which is only 19%, which is not great. Teaching people about hand washing reduces respiratory illnesses like colds in the general population by 16 to 21% and reduces diarrheal illnesses in people with weakened immune systems by 58%. Some more facts: 80% of diseases are transmitted by touch. The average keyboard can contain more bacteria than a toilet seat. Women actually wash their hands more often than men, and usually 1 in 5 person doesn't wash their hands after using the washroom, as well as smartphones can carry more than 30,000 bacteria units per swab, which is a lot. So this is a little example of why hand washing is important. I found this COVID-19 germ experiment on social media, and it's a small kind of educational way to kind of learn why washing your hands can actually reduce the spread of germs and reduce the amount of germs you have on your hands. So what you will need is just a basic bowl of water, pepper, and dish soap or liquid soap. And all you really have to do is just put, doesn't matter the temperature of the water, you just need to put water in a bowl, and you dip your fingertips into the plate with liquid soap, and you dip it in there, and then also make sure to have the pepper in the bowl. So once you have the pepper in the bowl with the water, put the fingertips that have the soap in the bowl, and you'll start to see that the pepper will, as soon as you put your finger with the soap, the pepper will spread out and spread away from your fingers. So the pepper acts as the germs on your hands, and the fingertips with the soap acts as if you have washed your hands and clean hands. So that's a cute little way to help understand the effectiveness of washing hands and using soap to remove bacteria. So we know why, now we need to know when. So you should wash your hands within the context of COVID-19, before and after eating, after sneezing, coughing, or blowing your nose, after touching your face, after visiting a public space, such as public transportation, markets, if you're going out shopping, etc., and after touching surfaces outside your home. In general, you should wash your hands not only from the ones I just listed, but also after touching or touching a cut or open sore, before and after using the toilet, before, during, and after preparing food. So this is a little poster on poster/picture on how to wash your hands. So these are the thorough steps of how you should wash your hands. Obviously start with wetting your hands, then applying some soap, then lathering and rubbing hands palm to palm, and then in between and around fingers, and then rub the back with the other palm, and you just do that for both, and then you use your fingertips and rub it into each palm, and then you rub each thumb in the opposite hand, just like that, and then you rinse thoroughly under running water, and then you pat dry with a paper towel or just a towel, and you use that towel to turn off the tap, and now your hands are clean. So why should you follow these steps? Well, you should follow these steps because wetting your hands with running water should be used, as hands could become recontaminated if you are washing your hands in still water. Lathering and scrubbing hands creates friction, which helps remove dirt. Germs from skin should be rinsed off of hands, and then rinsing the soap away also minimizes skin irritation. And then germs can be transferred easily to and from wet hands, which is why you should always make sure to thoroughly dry your hands after washing. All right, so now using hand sanitizers. Hand sanitizers can be helpful when soap and water are not available to you. And when your hands are not actually visibly dirty, then 70 to 90% alcohol-based hand sanitizer can be used. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers can quickly reduce the number of microbes on hands in some situations, but hand sanitizers do not eliminate all germs, which is why it is more important to wash your hands when you can. But hand sanitizer is also a good a supplementary way you can keep your hands clean if water and soap is not available to you. So if you have seen in grocery stores and in markets and in shopping centers and stores, you will see this poster, or they will put it in front of the store. And so they are basically saying before you enter any of the facilities or markets or malls or whatever, you must use hand sanitizers. And I know that some of them do provide hand sanitizer stations in front of the store. So, when you're going out, making sure that even though you can't wash your hands when you're out shopping or whatever, you can still use hand sanitizer, which is why it is important. So how would you use hand sanitizer? So it's basically the same kind of steps you use for hand washing. You don't use water, obviously. You apply the hand sanitizers, 1 to 2 pumps of the product into your hand, and you rub together. I'll actually use this. And then you're just gonna put it into your hands, and then you're gonna rub palm to palm, and then in between the fingers, and then the back of each hand, and then fingertips, thumb, and then you rub until it's dry. And once the products is dry on your hands, then that means your hands are clean. So why should you follow these steps? Many studies have found that hand sanitizer with alcohol concentration within 60 to 95% are more effective at killing germs than those with a lower alcohol concentration. Without this, it can reduce the growth of germs rather than actually kill them. The steps for hand sanitizers you use are based on a procedure recommended by the CDC. And instructing to overall surfaces of both hands with hand sanitizer has been found to provide similar disinfection effectiveness as providing detailed steps for rubbing in hand sanitizer. So washing hands during COVID-19, as we all know, we are in a global pandemic and we are now in our second lockdown. One of the cheapest and easiest ways to prevent the spread of this virus is to wash your hands frequently. It is one of the steps. It's not the only step, but it is one of the steps that can help prevent the spread, as respiratory viruses like COVID-19 can spread when mucus or droplets containing the virus get into your body through your eyes, nose, and throat. This can also happen when touching surfaces contaminated with droplets containing COVID-19, which can make you sick. So, in the midst of being in the middle of a pandemic, um, and COVID-19 is still spreading, it's important to keep a proper health hygiene overall in general, and making sure not only to wash your hands, but also using masks when going out in public places, making sure to disinfect or clean objects or items bought from stores, keeping up your personal hygiene, and making sure to follow COVID-19 protocols. So here is a little poster I found on information on how to slow down the spread of COVID-19. This is by the Government of Canada, and it just basically says to social distance or physical distancing, um, and washing your hands, making sure to not go out as much as possible, um, and yeah. So that concludes this presentation, and thank you so much.